To get from the rough prototype to a creative exterior design, it took nearly another year. Yang said enthusiastically that this science trip was meant to let children play with it first, to elicit their interest. Simply out of this motivation, the research team had great fun playing with it during this time. In the summer of 2009, with the help of the National Science Council, Professor Yang and his team held an activity called Dancing with the Golden Snitch, a science trip for celebrating the NSC's 50-year jubilee. Step-by-step activities started with the Chinese Wild Bird Federation explaining the ecology of birds in Guandu Nature Park. After observing the flight of birds, students got to see a hands-on trial of the golden snitch in person. Finally, they went to Danjiang University to experience the wind tunnel measurements, as well as National Taiwan University to witness a high-speed dynamic display experiment involving the shooting of liquid droplets. The substantive content of the trip left a deep impression on participating students. Long Jie-yang was most impressed by teacher Yan Changjiao and his 7 students from Ziqiang Junior High School in Hualien.
因为我们这么多年指导学生社团我们都是在玩一些水火箭啊、模型飞机啊这种飞行器。那倒是第一次听到有这种仿生器这种活动。那同学们他们从来没有接触过这样子的一种飞行器嘛，那么小又可以飞，又飞得跟鸟非常像。这回去之后呢，他们就影响了其他没有来的同学。
The gleam in Yuan Changjiao's eyes revealed how much this science trip meant and how much he admired the spirit of the Golden Snitch team. He was grateful for this chance given to school children from remote places to take part in general science education. The general science activity, Dancing with the Golden Snitch, not only imperceptibly infuses the children's world with the latest information technology, it also demonstrates caring for nature and mankind. Concerning these, Long Jie-yang said,
可以借着这样的一个活动，让他们可以轻松一下，可以 relax 一下，甚至呢还可以想一下说，我是不是对自然科学有兴趣？那对他们，我想对这些学员他们未来的发展其实都蛮有帮助的。
From the perspective of this modern era, collaboration between industry and academia has been ongoing for years and seems to be the optimal approach to help industry develop new products. However, 19 years ago, the first ever collaborative project between industry and academia, sponsored by the National Science Council, was pioneering in thought and encountered a great number of difficulties. In the early stage, when this variable pitch lead screw collaborative project between industry and academia began, the National Science Council didn't, as a rule, jointly sponsor projects with the private sector. Until 1992, when the NSC announced its package to encourage the private sector to work with the academic institutions. By then, this project had already been underway for 2 years.
那这个计划呢，每年大概有8到9位专任助理。那专任助理他的薪资呢，每个月大概都是2万多块到4万多块那他们因为要等了半年才有薪水可以拿，那这个比较困难，所以变成每个月呢，我需要去周转了20万的现金来先支付给这8、9位专任助理呢。
Yan says with amusement that the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu believed there is no need to always be the first to do something in this world. Since the project had no precedent to follow, the difficulties were great. In addition, because this collaborative project between industry and academia was the first in Taiwan to be funded jointly by the NSC and the private sector, he had to borrow cash from relatives and friends, with checks serving as a repayment guarantee, to allow the project to be conducted smoothly.
像易经公司120万，它是开了12张支票，每个月是10万块，而且不是一张120万的集齐支票，而是第一个月是集齐的，就每个月。 到的时候，那个10万块才生效。那国科会说不行他说你就是要一张120万的支票，当时就要国科会可以去入账。那厂商是说他们长久以来他们做生意的文化就是这样， 所以为了解决这个问题呢，我当时是跟亲友借贷啊，那等于给了一笔钱给厂商，跟他换了一张120万的支票，然后每个月我再去领那10万块出来。当时我也不便去讲这个事情，但是为了这种事情，让一个很有意义的研究计划呢，等于停顿在那边呢，我认为这个是大可不必啊。
In just this way, Yan always got caught in the middle, having to face unexpected situations. But the challenges didn't stop him. At the outset, to purchase machine tools to manufacture variable pitch lead screws, Rongxian Li, who was responsible for designing the NC programming, still recalls what happened.